I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Sri Lanka. The floor is yours.
Mr. Chair, Sri Lanka's position on the peaceful uses of outer space and commitment towards the prevention of weaponization of outer space has been clear and consistent. The common heritage of humankind to outer space, moon and other celestial bodies should be preserved at all times, and to this end it is essential to ensure that its exploration and use for peaceful purposes are in the common interest of all humankind. It is our firm conviction that the important objective of the prevention of an arms race in outer space could effectively be achieved only through the early conclusion of an effective and verifiable multilateral legally binding agreement on the prevention of an arms race in outer space, which would contribute to strengthening of the existing legal framework on safety and security of outer space, and through prohibition of placement of weapons in outer space and prohibition of threat or use of force against outer space objects. In this context, Sri Lanka has been presenting the resolution on the prevention of an arms race in outer space with Egypt annually, this year tabled as L3, and we thank all delegations for adopting it without a vote. We remain fully committed to the prevention of an arms race in outer space and will support any initiative to achieve this goal. It is in line with the same trend of logic that Sri Lanka voted in favor of L70, further practical measures for the prevention of an arms race in outer space, and its operative paragraphs 8 to 12. Placement of weapons in outer space will only weaken the already fragile international peace and security and jeopardize the stability of states that possess space capabilities as well as those who do not possess such technology. Therefore, we are pleased to have co-sponsored the resolution L67 on no first placement of weapons in outer space. Sri Lanka maintains its position in favor of L27, in line with its principled position of supporting all multilateral initiatives aimed at promotion of peaceful use of outer space and on the importance of increased coordination and understanding among spacefaring nations. Sri Lanka's vote in support of this resolution, LC27, is based on the understanding that the continuation of the OEWG on norms, rules, and principles of responsible behaviors is a stepping stone towards the negotiation and development of a comprehensive, legally binding treaty on prevention of an arms race in outer space. While we recognize the value and usefulness of voluntary commitments and enhanced transparency and confidence-building measures on peace and security of outer space, such non-binding norms, rules, and principles are only complementary in nature and cannot be a substitute for a comprehensive, legally binding multilateral treaty in this regard. We also underscore the importance of reaffirmation of compliance with the obligations under the existing space law regime, particularly by the spacefaring nations, and to ensure that the development of any new norms and principles on space behavior are built on the existing legal framework. Sri Lanka also abstained on the resolution L62, destructive direct ascent anti-satellite missile testing, as this text contains several limitations such as focusing only on testing of direct ascent anti-satellite missiles, which activity has the potential for the proliferation of other connected activities in space. The resolution does not refer to production, research and development and their use, as well as having a limited focus only on direct ascent ASATs, which are not in line with the objective of guaranteeing the safe and peaceful uses of outer space. We are of the view that the text lacks sufficient transparency with regard to the ultimate objective to be achieved and is not comprehensive enough to assure that outer space will not be weaponized. The impending threat of space warfare once again calls for an international regime that regulates and mitigates threats and perhaps eliminates such threats completely. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I thank the distinguished representative of Sri Lanka for his statement.